there, welcome back to another episode. This is Shuu, Sleep to Taiwan. Shuu, 华丽招到台湾。Hi, I'm 倾古
And I'm Ivory.
我们教一点，
聊一点，
学一点 English，、英文，耶、Alright， 那我们今天的主题是什么呢？
好，我们今天要讲的就是我们在中文跟英文来表达大的数字的时候，都有一个很大的差别。他们好像数字讲话的时候听起来很不同。所以我们今天就来教一下，在英文怎么说 big numbers。OK。
好期待哦！因为我记得每一次，我以前在考英文的时候，每一次只要考到数字，我就会错，所以我很需要今天的数字教学。
好，我们刚刚有做中文版的，所以就是刚刚我们的直播，所以想看看学中文就可以去看那边。
没错。
那我们先用 dialogue。Guess from context， 然后用对话猜。
个十百千万，十万百万千万亿，十亿百亿千亿兆。
Qinggu, what are you counting in Mandarin?
Oh, I'm counting the money.
Wait, what? Let me see again.
个十百千万，十万百万千万亿，十亿百亿千亿兆。
Now I understand. You're saying the place values, but in Mandarin. That makes sense. We don't count like that in English, but we can say it using ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000, blah, 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 like that. It's very different.
Yeah, so it's a bit different. Counting system must be different in English.
Yeah, it seems so. Let's talk about this today then. Okay, so 我们今天来讲的就是这个我们刚刚说的怎么在英文数字。And this is how we actually came up with the topic. We were counting and then we realized, oh wait, the numbers are a bit different. And then we were very, very confused trying to figure out how to say a number from English to Mandarin and from Mandarin to English. I think it was when Qinggu was showing me Jensen Huang's net worth from NVIDIA. Yeah, how much money he had. And then Qinggu told me he had 3.85兆. And then that's 3.85 trillion. But when we translated it, it was so weird. It was really hard at first.
Yeah.
Okay, so for numbers in English, let's start by doing a little test first. And we have this first number. So Qinggu, would you like to tell us what number this is? And then we will tell you guys how to count this number.
Alright, okay. It's quite challenging.
It's a little big.
Yeah, it's a 10, 100, 1,000. Then, what? Okay, 1,000. So it's a 3,000.
Okay, so I see where you're getting this from. Because in Chinese, you say 10,000.
Yeah.
Which would be 1,000, true. But no, in English, it's not like that. Okay, so this number is actually 3 million. So I will explain soon. Let's go to the next slide, and I will tell you how to count this number. Okay, so what Qinggu was using just now by going 个十百千万, that's what we call a numerical place value. So place values in English, we can see it in the next page. And we don't use it to count like that. We don't look at a number and go 个十百千万. But we can use it to understand how number systems work in English. So that's why we're teaching it to you guys today. Okay, 下一页. So these are the place values. This is the version of the Mandarin 个十百千万. And in English, it's by ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10 million, 100 million, billion, 10 billion, and 100 billion. And for those who want to learn a little more after 100 billion, it's a trillion. So a little extra info. So by looking at the chart, we can tell that the number we had earlier with 6 zeros, that's 3 million, not 300,000.
Yeah. 3,000. It's a million.
And how can we tell this? Like, for example, when I saw it, I could tell it that it was around 3 million pretty quickly. So we can look at this by using the commas, the comma placement. Okay.
Oh, that's a comma.
You see? Yeah, there are commas in every 3 numbers. And that's because in English, every 3 numbers, we will give the number a new name. So, for example, on thousands, on the first comma, you can tell that it's thousands. And then after, where there's no comma, there's 10,000, 100,000, and there's no comma here, right?
Yeah.
But on the next one, when you see a comma again, it changes. You don't say 10, 100,000, or you don't keep the name thousands. You change it to million.
It makes sense.
When there's another comma, yeah. On the next one, on the next comma, you change it to a billion.
Ooh.
So you see? Do you understand, Chingu?
Yeah. Actually, before that, I never figure out million, billion, or the number in English. I always wrong.
Look at the comma.
But for now, I know. I can see the comma, and I can figure out. The first is a million, and then it's a billion.
Yeah, that's what I do also in English. I think that the commas were adapted most likely to English numbers, not really Chinese, because I have seen in Mandarin, the numbers in Mandarin are different, and the commas don't make sense.
Yeah.
So always when I see in Mandarin, I'm so confused.
Yeah. In Mandarin, the comma is like a useless thing.
Yeah, it confuses you.
Yeah.
帮到忙。
没错，没错。
Okay, so let's go to the next page, and this is what we saw earlier. 这就是英文的个十百千万。And you guys can take a picture of it, screenshot if you guys want, and it will help you maybe if you want to memorize. But I suggest mainly just learn where the 3 commas are. Every 3 zeros, there will be a comma. And just memorize thousands, million, billion, and trillion. And after trillion, people rarely use more than trillion. So you should be fine. Just know the commas. And that's it.
Yeah, commas. Oh, great. 如果大家需要比较一下中文和英文的差异的话，可以把这张图截图 screenshot。
Okay, so now we're going to talk about how do we say big numbers like these in English. So we have a little hack to show you all. Okay, let's go to the next spot. In English, what we can do is that we can put them together into smaller groups. You chunk them, separate into small groups. And for example, here, every time you see a comma, you separate it. So, Chingu, would you like to tell us the first one, 173, that group? How to say it? You can ignore everything after. Don't say anything that goes after.
Okay. So, it's 173.
Yes. Okay. And now let's look at the next one.
Next one is 792.
Okay, Chingu, you can click next page so that we can see the numbers.
Okay.
With
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, until there, and now Chingu say the last one.
Yeah, it's a 652.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys might be wondering, why are we doing this? Like, clearly, this is not the number. So, what we can do when we say all these numbers separately into small groups, we can actually add on by using the commas after to know what number it is. So, okay, Chingu, you can show the full answer now. And this number is actually 173. Oh, it disappeared.
Sorry.
Okay, this number is actually 173 million, which is what we add on because there's the second comma, that comma, right? Then there's 792,000 when you see the other comma, and then 652.
Thousand.
Yeah.
Million.
Yes, exactly. So you guys can separate them into small groups, and every time you see a comma, you can just add million or thousand or whatever you see.
Wow. It's really totally different. The comma in English is really useful, but in Mandarin, it's useless.
Yeah, it's very useless.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's give some tips on when we say numbers, how do we speak more naturally so we can sound like natives? 就是讲数字用英文的时候小技巧。
I need it.
OK， 在你们讲英文的时候讲大数字就也可以听起来像母语者。
太好了。
好 Okay, so for numbers that end in 2 zeros, oftentimes you will hear natives say it differently. So Chingu, would you like to tell us what this number is? How would you say it?
I would say it's 1,100.
Okay, so next slide so we can see the answer.
Okay.
Yes, so what Chingu said was right. 再点一次. So what Chingu said was right. This is usually said 1,100 or 1,100. However, when you listen to natives, people who speak English a lot, mainly in the US, you might hear someone say this as 1,100.
Oh, 1,100.
Yes.
Wow.
So they ignore the comma. The comma is out the window.
Oh.
And why is this 1,100? So what I like to think of it is that you have the number 11. And when you have 100, the number 100 has 2 zeros, right? So you get 11 and then you add on 2 zeros. And then you get 1,100.
That also makes sense.
Yeah, that's why the zeros are in orange in this page.
Right.
So remember, when you hear a native, they might say 1,100, 2,200, that's 2,200, or 5,800, that's 5,800.
5,800.
Yes, this is a bit confusing. Okay,
if it's 5,800, I also can say 5,800.
Yes,
exactly.
Good job.
Fascinating. Got it.
This is how you can sound more like a natural speaker.
Wow, cool. I like it.
Okay, now let's talk about the next tip. So there's 1,100.
1,100.
The next tip is for big numbers like these. This, Chingu, how would you say it?
It's 1,000, so I'm going to say 10,000.
Okay, you can count. Remember, from the comma, it's at 1,000, right?
Yeah.
The next one would be 10,000, and then 100,000.
Oh, it's 100,000.
Yes. So this is 100,000.
Oh. Whoa.
Yes.
100,000.
Okay, well, it changes a bit. So sometimes you will hear natives say K. So for example, 100,000, they would say it, shorten it to 100K. And what is this K? Okay, so Qinggu, you can click next slide. Okay, and again. Okay, so natives sometimes will say 100 grand, as seen down there, or 100K. And what K and grand both mean, they both mean in the thousands. So if you have 100 and you add thousands, which has 3 zeros after, it's 100,000. So every time you hear K, think of thousands. If I tell you 20K, that's 20,000. Or 30 grand, that's 30,000. But you have to be very careful. Because K, you can write it, and you can say it to someone else. But when you say grand, you will never ever hear a native person write down 100 grand. Maybe sometimes, but it's very, very rare, and it's not really used. So I don't suggest you write down 100 grand. It's better to say it.
So people going to say 100 grand, but not write it down.
Yeah, we don't write it down.
Is it just because the K is more convenient than grand?
I feel like probably because I see a lot of times I also prefer to write 100K instead of 100,000 or 100 grand. K is just so short, so it's easy to understand. Yeah.
And if if you write a grain down, I probably want to just write a G. But if you write 100 G's, like not kilogram, it's
grams.
Yeah, grams.
Yeah, people will think it's a gram.
So it's just because to avoid the avoid what?
Avoid confusion?
Confusion. Yeah,
to avoid people from getting confused. You're right. So next time, Qinggu, if you don't want to write the full thing, you don't want to write 100,000 with all the zeros, just write 100K. It's easier. And in video games, they also write 100K a lot, or 10K for 10,000, like that. So they shorten it. Okay, now let's move on to our next part, which is going to be an activity, 活动. Okay, so this part is that I'm going to give you all some numbers. 我会给你们一些数字，然后你们要在英文把它写出来，它要怎么念的。You guys have to tell me how you say it in English. OK， 所以我们开始，然后Qinggu会帮助我们来说答案，他会跟你们一起数哦。
I'm ready for this.
我们让Qinggu来跟我们挑战看看。
OK，
好，
开始。
OK， 这是最简单的，它慢慢会变更难。
So I count it like a money?
Yes, count it in the way that you would say money.
Okay, it's 911.
911, correct. Okay, so in English, when we say 900, we add an and, but this is when it's more formal. Some people will say 911, more casual. So what you're saying is okay. But when you're writing it, remember to add 911.
Can I just say 911?
Oh, okay. This you can't say that if you want money, because 9/11 actually refers to something else. 9/11 refers to September 11 of 2011. 9月11号。然后那是一个 that's a terrorist attack in the United States.
Yeah, some terrorists attacked the building. And the date is 9/11.
我不知道它中文叫什么，老师知道吗？就是
我知道那个911恐怖攻击事件。
对，911
那个
对恐怖攻击事件，
没错。
However, if you say 911 separately, This refers to the emergency line in the United States or in a lot of English-speaking countries like Canada, Mexico, Philippines. Costa Rica also uses 911 as the emergency. So if your house is on fire or something happened to you and you got injured and you can't get up, you need to call the police, the ambulance, or something. You call 911. And then usually when you call 911, the emergency operator, the person who picks up your phone, they will start with this line saying, 911, what's your emergency? That's why it's very popular online, and people know it, that when you call 911, you will hear this phrase.
Yeah, I heard that in some American dramas.
Yeah, they always say that, right?
Yeah, 911, what's your emergency?
I think you hear it a lot in crime shows too. So if you guys watch crime shows, you might hear it.
Wow.
Okay, 下个挑战吧. Next number. Ooh.
It's like okay, it's 1,000, so it's a 1,000. 10.
Yeah, 1,010.
Oh.
Or more formally would be 1,010. So this number,
10. Okay.
Yeah, this number actually refers to a common saying that came out recently out of TikTok. 从抖音出现的一个讲法，然后就是 when you say someone is a 10 out of 10. Yeah, it comes from a trend when people go up to others. For example, I say, oh, Chingu, and then I show you a picture of someone. Then I'm like, oh, rate this person from 1 to 10. 从1到10，你觉得这个人多棒？From 1 to 10, how great? 给他几分。So when you say when they're a 10 out of 10, it's that they're the best of all. So like they could be very attractive or they have a good personality. That's when you say, oh, they're a 10 out of 10.
Oh, they're 10. They're a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, and some people like to just say, oh, they're a 10. Take off the out of 10. They just say, you're a 10.
You're a 10.
And then people will understand what you mean.
Yeah, remember the
네.
You're a 10. I'm a 10. They're a 10.
So confident.
Yeah, so confident.
Okay. Next one. 下个挑战。
Okay.
开始比较难咯。
Wow, it's 1,000, so it's like 123,000.
Yeah.
101.
And 101.
Oh, 100 then 1.
100 and.
Oh, and.
就是像中文的又。
101.
通常说前就会有一个零就 and 这样。然后 okay, this has two different phrases, so I put it separately by the commas. So for example, there's the first phrase, which is easy as 1, 2, 3. And this is another way of saying something is a piece of cake. So this is easy as 1, 2, 3. It's like, oh, counting 1, 2, 3 is very easy, right?
Yeah, if you say it's a piece of cake, I think most Taiwanese would know that.
Oh, they would know it?
Yeah, because we learn a piece of cake in the textbook.
Oh, yeah. I think a piece of cake is also really common too.
Oh, really? It's not old-fashioned?
Some people say it, but I wouldn't say it's very old-fashioned. I still hear people say it. And next one is 101. So 101, usually you use it after something. So for example, cooking 101. And we don't say 101. You have to be very careful. We separate it. We say 101. And in English, when we put 101 after something, it's when we do something and we make it very easy. For example, when we're teaching English and we try to make it very easy for everybody to know, you would say, oh, this is English 101. But people use this to name their classes a lot or name a course. So it's not used to say like often, but you can see it in some places.
Oh, English 101, Cooking 101, Mandarin 101.
Yeah, it's
What
like
about
the
Taipei 101?
Oh. I haven't thought about that. Oh, you're so right. Taipei 101 is also 101.
Nah, it's just a kidding. Taipei 101 is the flower, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the
I was
building's
about to say
name.
maybe it's because you can see Taipei from very high up. It's very easy.
Yeah.
So they call it 101.
It's very easy. Yeah. It's just the building's name called Taipei 101. And if you
Right.
came to Taiwan or you come to Taiwan, you probably will go up then see the whole Taipei city in Taipei 101.
Taipei 101, Taipei 101. I think
没错。
it's very popular in Taiwan. Yeah.
Actually,
Okay,
I never
let's
go
go
up
to the next
to Taipei
one.
101.
真的
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I'm so afraid.
Oh.
I get scared by the high building, high floor building.
Yeah.
So
You're scared of heights,
yeah,
right?
I cannot go up Taipei 101. I probably will go die.
And
And I'm so afraid if
but-
I met an
Yeah, it's
earthquake.
really high.
Yeah, that would be shock.
Oh no, but in
Seriously.
Taipei there's like they have a way to stabilize the tower. When you get to the top floor, the Taipei 101, it shows you what would happen if there's an earthquake.
Yeah.
I think it's very safe.
Yeah, it's safe, just scary.
Okay, true. Taipei 101 is scary.
Yeah.
If any of you want to go to Taiwan, I also suggest going to Taipei 101. It's a very pretty place. And below Taipei 101, there's also malls or restaurants. There's a lot of nice places close to Taipei 101.
Yeah.
And really good views. It makes really good pictures.
Yes.
Okay. 下一个 开始比较难咯。
Okay, it's thousand, so it's a 180,360.
Yeah, wow, Chingu, you're getting the hang of this really quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so this actually has two different things. So this is a saying in English when you say, oh, they did a full 180, because 180 is half of a circle. A full circle is a 360 degree.
Yeah.
So when you say, oh, that person, they did a full 180, it's like, oh, that person changed a lot really quickly. They're in the opposite direction. So if, say, I think, what's a celebrity? I really like Ariana Grande's music. Or I really like 五月天's music. And then one day I suddenly start saying, oh no, 五月天, I hate them. They're so bad. Their music makes my ears bleed. I hate it. I will never listen to 五月天.
Yeah.
I will never do that, by the way. But if that happens, you could say, oh, Ivory did a full 180, or oh, she did a 180, or she did a complete 180.
But actually, 五月天, they do make some makes Taiwanese feel like, oh, they did a full 180? Yeah, 180. But not because some of it's because the music actually it's about singing, and some it's because they like to perform in China and they say something quite sensitive.
Oh, really? I didn't know this.
Yeah, it's the current news.
Because
they want to make money in China.
Wow, Chingu, you have to tell me about this after.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, we can also talk about this on our another podcast, talking about 时事讨论 and talk about 五月天. Wow, this is so sad. I love 五月天's music. They have good music. No. Okay. 老人就想要赚钱了，他们想要退休了。
没错。
Okay. So another way of saying this is also to say somebody did a 360, but in geometry or in math, this is actually wrong. Because if you do a 360, it's a circle, right? You end up in the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From here to here. It's same.
Yeah. Don't say they did a 360. That's wrong. Sometimes you might hear people say it because honestly, I feel like a lot of people also get it wrong. So when they say somebody changed a lot, they might say, oh, they did a 360. But this is 错误.
Yeah. So I can say, oh, his personality did a full 180. 180.
Yeah.
Oh,
is there a
cool.
translation to Mandarin for this thing?
Oh, yeah. If I would describe someone's personality or someone's behavior, it's totally different. Like the acting before, you can say 180度大转弯.
Oh, hey. It translates very well. 180度大转弯. It's very similar to doing a 180.
Yeah, 你可以说他的个性或是他的态度180度大转弯，可能本来很好，突然变得很差，或是本来很差，突然变得很好，都可以，只要是不同的都可以。
我们英文也是，就是例如一个人的个性或他们通常的样子表面就改变很快的话，很突然，就是他们180度大转弯。记得不是360度。
对，360度跟没变一样。
对，就是一样的。OK， 下一个 ，next one.
Wow.
Oh, the biggest number we have today.
It's 1,000.
So,
it's a million. So it's 7,513,666.
Yes. Okay, so Chingu is getting the hang of this really fast. Yeah! Good job. So for those watching, you guys can write down the answer below, but this is 7,513,666. And remember to look at the commas. By looking at the comma, you can already know, that's 7 million. And that's 513,000. So it's very easy to know what this big number is if you look at where the comma is.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about what is in here. What's in these numbers? Okay, wow. Oh, so there are 3 different numbers here. 7 million stands for the number 7. And in English, 7 is a good luck number because sometimes people say the Bible, religiously, the Bible took 7 days for God to create.
Oh!
Yeah. But this is in general. I think even atheists will also think that 7 is a lucky number in English. Atheist is someone who doesn't believe in God or the Bible. So, yeah.
I never know that before. I just know, it's a lucky 7 in Western, but I never know it's from Bible. The origin is from Bible.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known if I didn't go to a religious school, but my mom makes me to. Okay. So 7 also is actually a lucky number because in the casino, there's a slot machine. And a slot machine is a machine you pull, and it goes ding, and a lot of different pictures, and then it stops. And then when you have 3 same numbers or 3 same pictures, you win a lot of money in the casino. So when you hit 777, usually you hit the jackpot. And hitting the jackpot is like winning the lottery. Wow. So it's like you win a lot of money. That's when you say, oh, I hit the jackpot. And this not only goes for casino. You can say when you have something that's really good happen to you. So if you say you got a boyfriend and your boyfriend is very nice and very, very good looking, you say, oh, I hit the jackpot with my boyfriend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's
I hit
another
a jackpot.
extra thing.
A jackpot. Jackpot.
Yeah. So 777 in casinos is basically the jackpot. That's why people say, oh, it's a lucky number.
Oh.
Then the next one is 513. And this in English stands for Friday the 13th. This is a very bad luck day. So like it's terrible luck. If you encounter on a certain month and it's the 13th day of the month is on a Friday, people will say it's bad luck. I don't know why, but in English a lot of people say 13 is a bad luck number. I think it's because in the Bible there were someone who betrayed Jesus came as the 13th guest to a meal. And there was also in Norse mythology, that's mythology of like the Vikings from like Norway and stuff. In Norse mythology, Loki, he killed someone, and then he was also the 13th person at a meal. Yeah. So I think a lot of bad stuff happens in like Bibles and stories when you're the 13th person, maybe. And Fridays, bad stuff just happens in the Bible on Fridays. That's what people say, but I'm not.
Wow.
So Friday the 13th, next Friday the 13th, I think it falls in September. And people will say, oh, it's bad luck that witches are going to come for you. I've also heard people say it's because there are 13 witches or something like that. They say, oh, the witches will get you. But I think it's just a superstition or a saying people have. Nothing really happens. I have lived many Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
and
I think it's a superstition too. Because I'm more into 13. Yeah, but it's nothing bad happened.
Yeah. It's just something people say. And also the last number is 666. 666. When you see this number, a lot of people think, oh, this is like the number 4 in Chinese. 四. It's bad luck. 444. Like that. But in English, 666 symbolizes really bad things like, oh, Satan, the devil, or evil things in general. A lot of people get tattoos saying 666. Yeah.
Really? Got a tattoo?
Yeah, I have seen people with tattoos. Someone had it on their neck, like here, 666.
Why? 666? It's not about bad luck?
It's not bad luck. In general, it's related to evil things. For example, like dark things. You know how people like to tattoo a skull? Or like very dark things on themselves. So 666 is one of them that people. Yeah. Okay. So for today, I think Chingu wrote everything really fast. So for everybody who wants to recall, remember to look at the commas in a number, and that's how you know what it is.
Yes.
And 所以我们今天就咻划了一跤离开台湾。
That's call it a day.
希望你们大家现在就终于懂在英文怎么说大的数字了。
没错，我终于搞懂了，太开心了。
终于搞懂了，
没错，好开心。
好，那我们 Let's call it a day。对，
那我们就到这边啦。我下个星期再跟大家同一时间见面，大家拜拜，下次再一起来练习英